Hello, everybody. It's Miller time here at Homestead, Miami for the mid-race of the round of 8. I'm joined by Rat Bastard again. How you doing?
Yeah, you know what, Zachary Cerno? After a race like Dover, I am so ready for this race here today at the Homestead Miami Speedway. This is one hell of a racetrack.
All right, there's your playoff standings right there. What are you looking at for this race?
You know, I'm really paying attention in terms of the playoff drivers right here. I'm going to pay attention to Benjamin Deloney, considering only 14 points above. Got to watch out for him today.
All right, let's go trackside. As the cars roll off, we're going to take a look at your starting lineup for the third to last race of the season. Apologize for the error in graphics there. Who do you got to win here at Big Ass Dover?
You know what? I'm looking at that guy right there on the inside line in the front row, Tanner Campos. His teammate has gotten his way into the championship four. I think he's the next one to do it. He's got a one-up him this time around. Watch out for Caden Bishop, too, on the front row. Had a great run last week.
The regular season champion against the leading non-chaser, Green Flag.
Already, I see Kylee diving out to the inside lane, 3 wide.
4 wide, back at 5 wide with Colin Dover. Oh my, they're already going at it. Look at them
And
fan
Zachary,
out.
they're just letting Tanner get to the lead.
Tanner,
And they're already going to get to the outside.
Tanner blows to the outside. Look at Caden trying to get the air off the wall to get the run. Tanner leads.
And Caden might be one of those drivers just trying to rip the outside this time around as Tanner does get lap 1.
Tanner leads the first lap. Caden right in his tire tracks, maybe a little lower. Jared trying to hold on to fourth against Kyler Scott.
Jared's got to watch out up there. He's got someone like Justin Ricci who's, even with him being as low as he is probably going to be a threat to him.
And with Jared being so low in points, he needs to hold as many spots as possible because Homestead is not the type of track that's very easy to pass at.
Oh, look at Bishop. Bishop's going to try to get there. I think he's going to get Tanner here at some point. I mean, he's holding his ground as I seem to be having technical difficulties on my end. I hope that doesn't affect it too much.
Well, damn. God damn it, COVID. You make everything worse. Anyway, oh, Caden in the wall! It's the second lap in a row he was in the wall.
Oh, shoot.
12, now the 12 car. Justin Ricci to the inside. Where does Kyler Scott go? Scott moves to the outside. Caden. Strong off turn 4.
Oh, not going to get there.
Now,
oh, here comes Kyler Scott trying to make a move on Ricci there. I think Ricci might get Caden here for second.
Oh, but he gets tight off the corner. He's going to lose that spot. Slides right in front of Roberto Crown. Jared Holmes and Kylee are now drag racing Quinn Yeager. Ooh, Roberto Crown throws a big block in there. He and Scotty are both in the wall. 3 wide.
Oh, geez. They're being way too aggressive early on here. I understand. It's in the middle of the playoffs, round of 8, got to be aggressive. But, it's way too early here to race like Homestead to be diving in there like that. But hopefully they're not putting each other on the wall all race long.
Jared really was the big loser in that. He lost a bunch of spots trying to go 3 wide to the inside. That's one of the problems with Homestead with this package is that the outside line is so dominant that even if you have a better car, like you see here, Caden has a much better car than Tanner, but he really has nowhere to go with it.
And that's just the thing with the track like Miami. This is definitely more of a driver's racetrack. Some are better than others at ripping the outside lane. Someone like Hayden Bishop, that's why he's able to run up here so good. And really, it just depends on if you're able to rip that outside, be right up next to the wall. Some drivers can't do that as well. Even the most talented drivers in the MLNCS aren't going to be able to do it.
Yeah, this is a totally new style of racing to them. We haven't really been to an outside line dominant track this whole season. Every single track has been either at best even lines and at worst inside dominant. So this is a new test entirely for all these drivers, and we're seeing Tanner excelling early and Caden slapping the wall again.
Oh my gosh, he's really got to stop it with those mistakes there. I mean, he's got a real shot at getting Tanner for this lead there. This is now the second race in a row. It seems like he has race contending speed. He's just got to actually reel it in because Caden Bishop, that one car, might be a race winner here pretty soon. Maybe even here today.
That's a good corner right there, pinning Justin Ricci, not allowing him to get to the top, and that's going to nail him back around for third. Let's see now what he does to try to get second back from Kyler Scott. Meanwhile, Justin Ricci tries to shut the door on Colin Dover, but Dover just says, no, I'm taking that spot. Look at Caden all the way to the wall again. He has no fear.
Yeah, not at all. He doesn't seem to be scared at all of this racetrack. I'm honestly really impressed with how he's been running this race so far. Just to see Kyler Scott there, they were able to rip the outside right there on turn 4. They get up right up next to the wall. And that's really going to be the advantage there. If you can just get a good run out of the corner, then you'll be a good contender for the lead. No one's able to catch Tanner yet, though.
Scotty made a move on it, but of course, Tanner had the outside line, so he was able to hold him off. Now it's side by side for second again. Caden's going to get the spot back. See now if he can go challenge to the 0-0.
I think he might be able to here.
Let's see what happens.
Again, the 11 not being in the playoffs anymore.
Right to the wall. That's tight, and he got to him. He got to the outside. Now Caden ripping around the top. To the lead he goes. Caden Bishop, not quite yet though. They're side by side off 2.
Hopefully my flight difficulties here aren't going to affect me seeing in the race lead, but we'll try to go with it as now I'm able to see that. Yep, around the outside, Caden Bishop.
Caden to the lead he goes. Now Kyler Scott going to try to get around Tanner for second.
Tanner's got to watch it here. He's got a hungry 11 car right behind him. I mean, he's got nothing to lose. He's not in the playoffs anymore. He's really just going out here going for race wins. Colin Dover up there, too. He might be a contender for this.
2 Dodges up in the lead, and then 3 Fords to follow. Toyota and Chevy side by side. Chevy, Toyota to close out the top 10. And Colin Dover trying so hard to get around Tanner. But Tanner just holding his ground right there on the bottom.
And I'm shocked that he is. I mean, considering that really you've got to be really good on the outside lane of this racetrack if you want to really be good, if you want to really have the speed. But just with the overall talent that someone like Tanner has in the series, he doesn't even need to do that. He's just able to use that middle lane, stay on the inside of the 27 there, and he's just going to keep that spot.
There's the round of 8 standings right now. Benjamin Deloney only +5 now. You had your eye on him in the beginning of the race. He hasn't gone anywhere since the start.
Yeah, and that's what's really going to hurt him. That's one reason that I wanted to take a look at that 37, because he was only 14 points ahead going into this race. Not looking too good for him now. He's got to watch out because Kylee Greider is also actually is down there on the inside. Been making a lot of aggressive moves, one of the best drivers in the series, and has been a lot more consistent than Benjamin Deloney. So she's definitely going to be a threat to his playoff hopes.
Justin Ricci has been trying to pass Quinn Yeager for so many laps now, and as Quinn Yeager loses spots, Justin Ricci's also been losing spots because he just can't get around him.
Yeah, they're just battling each other too early on this one. When you battle like this and both just sitting here side by side, not focusing on just kind of holding your line, you're going to let a lot of cars catch up to you and get by. Luckily, they haven't made too much contact, but Quinn Yeager he's been one of the best drivers as of late in the series. Just the way he's been able to run up front in a car that really hasn't been good whatsoever at all this season.
To your point, that 28 car has seen a lot of different drivers. It started with Jeff Gordon, and then it transitioned over to Leland Fife, and then to Blode, and they were all very mediocre drivers. Blode was the only one that ever made the car look good, and he was very inconsistent. So Quinn Yeager really having very few bad runs is a huge improvement for this team. You see Justin Ricci way to the top there trying to get in a run on him.
I don't think he's going to be able to there. But again, with all those points you brought up, you got to give props to the guy driving that 28 car. It's for someone that really has no experience in these NR 2003 series, besides the truck series as of recent, he's been really impressive. And he'll be back here next season just wondering how he's going to be able to run, if he'll really be able to contend with these guys.
Kylie, she's in the wall!
Oh, no.
And now Quinn Yeager gets around her. Now Ricci to the bottom, trying to get that 6th spot. I don't know if he's going to be able to clear her.
Yeah, I just hate to see it for the 36.
I don't know if he's going to be able to clear her yet. Let's see. Ooh, she's not gonna try to get all the way to the top. She's gonna try to pinch him here. Think that'll work a lot better for her, and it does.
Oh yeah, definitely. She's been one of the best racers in this series. She knows what to do. If she's gonna lose those spots, she's not gonna be without him for long. She's gonna get right back up there and get those spots back, and she'll do whatever she has to do to get those positions back. Because every position is vital for someone like Kylie that is currently below the cutoff. She's got to get up there and gather as many points as she possibly can.
Let's go back to the front here. For someone like Caden, his playoff hopes ended honestly, before the final race of the regular season, he spent that whole race 70 plus points back, and to have a turnaround like he's had to be leading this race is really impressive for that team. Take a look here at Carter Jones, who has gone backwards since the start of the race, now down around 20th.
Yeah, not good for someone like Carter. And I mean, considering how good he's actually been, like the first two rounds of these playoffs, it's not something you usually see with the 62 team. It's honestly, it's not really a good sight for him. You know, it would definitely be a real failure if he didn't get his way into the championship four. But you know, I still expect him to, even with the mediocre run he's having right now. I have that feeling he just got to bounce back. I don't see him going below, unless he is at the moment. I haven't seen the playoff picture in a bit.
When we last updated the playoff picture, he was 15 points to the good, but he's lost a couple spots since then. He's reporting that car is very, very loose right now. As Carter put it, its butt is all wiggly.
I mean, I'd say that's about right terminology for it. It's one of the worst feelings as a race car driver inside one of these cars, especially in a critical situation like this, where I mean, he is 15 points above. Similar situation to Benjamin Deloney was entering this, but that's still definitely not safe. Even with how dominant he's been in the playoffs, he's not safe by any means. I mean, his hopes could end here today. He's just got to make sure he doesn't wreck that car, as I saw Marinelli might have gotten into the wall there. Ravid Dagan.
And Ravid has been having an absolutely terrible race. Oh.
He's someone who's definitely got to watch it as well. He's been below the cutoff. I mean, so far, obviously, throughout this round, definitely someone who's fallen off since his success in the series, racked off those wins. But he just hasn't been able to find as much speed, and it's really miraculous he was even able to get into the round of 8, having to rely on other drivers' misfortunes. But here he is, he's still in it, but he's not running up front.
And this is and with the way everyone else has been running, with Kylee and Justin Ricci running so well, and with JD obviously locking his way in, these drivers that weren't really expected to contend as much for these final 4 spots, it's definitely disappointing to see Ravid, who's in that same category, just not perform up to par.
And it really is. It's just overall the team not being as good. They didn't really have a great second half of the season whatsoever, and his performance kind of just dipped off. But, you know, even if he is most likely eliminated in this round of 8 here, I still see it as a successful season as he's able to build off of that and go into season 2, basically starting out brand new. He'll still be a contender next season. Just got to have he's got to have a good overall season. As you see, we got green flag pit stop starting.
First wave of stops is underway.
Well, now 27 for the time being is going to be up here trying to go for that race lead, but pretty soon we're going to see everybody come down pit road, and that's just what's going to happen.
Round lap 30. We're expecting to see 2 stops in this race. We don't. It's really not likely that we'll find someone who's either got the stones or really the gas tank to go the full distance on just 1 stop.
Yeah, probably not in this one. Fuel strategy is definitely going to be interesting, but I mean, we probably won't see anyone attempt to really stretch it out, attempt to gamble on fuel. I think Marinelli stayed out.
Marinelli trying to get that bonus point.
All right, now we got Caden Bishop up here now. She's back on the racetrack.
Caden and Kyler Scott came out together. They are very far. They're very far ahead of Tanner and JD Bregler, who had a great stop and was outside the top 10, and looks like he's going to be inside the top 5 when we get back, when the cycle is complete.
I believe I saw most of the cars go down to pit road. I'm pretty sure. I don't think Caleb Marinelli's gone to pit road yet. Last I checked, I saw he was the only one still on the racetrack. But I'm not sure if anybody else happened to stay out. I think currently he might be the only one left that still has to go down, as you see the two Holmes Mad teammates.
If he has to go down, he's going a lot further than I thought he would, because we're getting close to the halfway point of this race. I couldn't imagine. He must have pitted. He must have.
He had to have.
He must have. And if he pitted, that is some of the greatest strategy I have ever seen, because he went from outside the top 20 to third.
I mean, there's just no way he did. It's unbelievably impressive if that were the case, but
that
I really don't see any way that happened.
That would be some gutsy strategy. Because the only way I can imagine he did that is if he took 2 tires. But as I say that, he's catching the leaders, so, and I'm fairly certain the leaders took 4 tires, so if he took 2 tires and is doing this, I'm scared, Mikey.
So am I, honestly. That's some killer strategy right there. I don't see how that could have been pulled off. So yeah, I mean, they might have all cycled out at this point. Still just the 1 and the 11 up front, but they're being caught.
And speaking of catching, the 11 was not as good as the 1 when we started the cycle. When you see now, as he gets in the wall there, he is as good as, if not better than the 1 car. Kyler Scott hounding Caden Bishop for this lead.
Oh, he was right there on his bumper too. He's ready to get that race lead.
The cars behind them slowly catching up. Tanner's been catching them by 0.3 a lap. Tanner, much faster than these leaders right now. And I don't think this battling is really helping their cause much. They've got to try to work together to stay ahead of Tanner at least and survive to the next pit stop.
That's really what they got to do. They got to hope that no contact's made here. I mean, I know the 11's been getting real close to Caden Bishop. Just got to hope that there's no serious contact made. Might just help the 15 and the 00, and even the 5 catch up.
JD Bregler. Let's just talk about the run he's been on the last couple races. 3 straight top 2 finishes. We call it an Alex Bowman performance, except 2 of them have been wins as we take a look at the round of 8 standings again. You see Carter -2.
Oh my goodness. And look at Jared and Ravid. Absolutely abysmal, being below the cutoff. Kylee is now above. You see there, everybody that is not JD Bregler is not safe at this point. There is nobody, none of the other 7 drivers are safe whatsoever. And they're in an interesting situation. The top 2 right now are non-playoff drivers that are willing to risk it all. Tanner now catching the 15 right on his bumper, going to get to his inside.
Tanner's the fresh tires, but Caleb has the preferred line. They're both much faster than these leaders, and side by side for the lead.
Oh, I think Kyle Scott's going to get him right here. The 2 Dodge-affiliated teammates battling it out here. Neither of them in the playoffs. We have no idea what they're willing to do to go get this win. I know Caden's probably a lot more hungry for it, considering he just hasn't gotten any wins. this might be his night.
Caden has been the dominant car. He's led by far the most laps, but Scotty trying to get around him, trying to find a way to pass this one car.
We'll see some great racing from these two, especially someone like Caden. Look at him try to block him, go down to the middle. He's used to running the outside, but as soon as that 11 gets right there, he's got to go down and block him. The 11's going to try to get a run on him, but again, he doesn't have that preferred line. And that's why Marinelli back there in third is holding his ground against the 0-0, and that's why Caden is still able to hold this race lead.
Caden right now is just being disciplined. He knows all I have to do is maintain this position. If you take a look here, here's a big battle for the edge of the top 10. This is 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th racing together, and Justin Ricci's in this group.
Oh, yikes. And not really good there for Justin Ricci. I mean, he's in a better situation we thought that he would be in going into these playoffs, but he's got to get up there. He's got to pass all three of these cars. He can't be running 12th. He's got to be running, like, top 8, top 7, even top 5 if he wants to have a chance up there. Because you got drivers up there like Tanner Campos. You obviously got J.D. Bregler locked in. And then Kylee Greider, probably some of his best competition in terms of getting in. She's currently above the cutoff, I believe, but more of a bubble driver at this point.
Yes, but Justin really has nowhere to go. He's got Dylan Jones and Brandon Allen side by side in front of him. He's side by side with Gavin Grant. Quinn Yeager's on his bumper. There's nowhere for him to go unless, of course, he wants to try to dive to the bottom and ruin everyone's day. And that's exactly what he's going to try to do! He looks to the...
you might if he wants to try to pull some sort of slide job. Take him 3 wide. Oh, he doesn't have the run. Man.
He got so close.
Oh, look at 3rd through 5th are right here on the leaders. We got a big pack for the lead.
And Kyler and Caden are still side by side. And Tanner, where's Tanner going to go now?
This is really what's going to probably decide the race right here. Tanner's obviously going to pick the outside here. This is really going to screw over the 11. Now he's going to have a big train on the outside, and he's just going to be stuck on the inside with no way to get into the preferred line, because there's no way he's passing this one car unless he royally screws up.
He's giving him the fight of his life right now trying to do that.
Yeah, given the fight, probably 1-2 races too late. Not really contending for much but a single race win, and he's going to give it his all. Just trying to focus on next season, but still probably wants to get one more this year before it's all said and done.
Caden barely leads the lap. Look at JD and Caleb right on their asses. They go through 1 and 2.
Even Kylie's back there. I mean, she's kind of stayed stagnant back there, but I mean, she might catch up real soon, especially if these drivers start getting aggressive. Oh, Tanner's going to try to get Caden
to the outside. Look at that. Oh, you think
Tanner to the lead.
You think Tanner wants this?
Oh my, Tanner Campos. Zachary Cerno, that was one hell of a move right there.
That's
textbook Homestead Miami Speedway.
Right to the outside. Pulled the move that Caden pulled to get around him. Payback time.
And look at how close the cutoff is between Deloney, Greider, and Jones. Those seem to be the 3 drivers right now that are battling for 2 spots because, I think this is Tanner Campos' race. Honestly, this is looking similar to Dover, but the only thing Tanner needs right now is some lap car to screw everybody else up.
Imagine if that happened 2 weeks in a row. And Caden's not giving up yet. He's putting up a fight against JD.
I mean, Caden seems to be, from what we've seen tonight, probably the best out of these drivers at Homestead. It's just Tanner has the better car. He pulled off the better move by absolutely rim riding inches from the wall on the outside and was able to get Caden, but I think he still has a shot here.
don't forget Tanner's
now JD isn't saying this.
Tanner's tires are also 1 lap fresher than Caden's. And with that, and if they're showing that big a difference, then if Caden waits 1 more lap than Tanner to pit, that could swing this race the entire opposite direction.
That's going to make this something, and suddenly this is now a 6-car pack. Look at Kylee Greider back there, right behind Caleb Marinelli. What are the odds of that?
That is not at all shocking. It's JD now trying to take over the 3rd position. Where does... Oh, look at Kylee! Right to the outside to get it to Caleb.
Look at that. Trying to make the moves, and I mean, honestly, at this point, Caleb will probably just let her by. She's got to go get this championship. She's trying to get up there and gather these points. She's above the cutoff right now. This is one of the most important races of her life. And Tanner's just growing his lead now.
The cars that are on the same sequence as him, they're stuck behind the 2 tires with the 2 cars with older tires, and JD's in the wall trying to find something.
JD! Oh man, he tried to pull out the same move his teammate pulled. I mean, at this point, Tanner's also in a similar boat as Caden and Kyler. Not entirely, though. He's just locked into the championship 4. He can just do whatever. Maybe go get a win or 2 before he actually fights for the big picture, but couldn't really pull off the move there.
Still side by side for 2nd. They've been side by side for like 20 laps now. This battle just never ending between the 2 Dodges, Kyler Scott and Caden Bishop, dead even.
I really thought Kyler had him here, but again, Caden got the run on the outside. 5 looks like he might start to run the middle. If he could just get by these 2 cars, I'd say he might actually have a shot. So now we're looking back through the field.
Justin Ricci has finally broken into the top 10, running down Urenda right now for the 9th position. Benjamin Deloney is making a charge towards the top 10, finally getting somewhere in that 37.
Dylan Jones taking it 3 wide there. And Deloney, Dylan Jones in the wall. Oh, no.
That's going to lose him a bunch of spots now, as he's going to try to get back to Alan Mooch around for the 15th position.
Oh, now Kylie might be making a move on the 5. But again, she's also got nowhere to go. Nobody has anywhere to go, and basically, Caden and Kyler are just... They're kind of acting as that laps car that's going to let Tanner pull away.
But the tires...
He's continuing to grow his race lead, and it's because they're continuously battling, and also their tires.
Their tires have started to equalize a little bit. When Tanner first got around them, he put 3/10 on that lead, but since that lap, he's been out front for like 5 or 6 laps. It's only grown 2/10 since, and it barely changed at all that last lap.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to wait to see if anybody else has a shot at him there, but I still think this is the race for that 0-0 right there. He's had such a season, was able to get 2 wins, one at the end of the regular season, one very recently over at Denver, and I think if he gets it done tonight, it's well-deserved. He would be the 2nd Hose Mad car to get his way to the championship 4.
Hose Mad has been hyper dominant in the postseason. They've won 8, I believe, of the 10 races so not of the 10. What am I? 6 of the. Oh my God! What? I can't do math. They've won all but 2. Is what I'm going for.
I understand what you're trying to say.
They've won all but 2.
Yeah. But exactly. And by the end of these playoffs, I mean, hey, that stat that you kind of messed up on, 8 out of 10. I think that's a real possibility. But, they might just win the rest of them here.
Oh, Tanner down pit road now.
Oh, yes, he does.
Tanner going down pit road. That gives the lead to Caden for 1 more lap. This is going to be interesting because now...
also went down.
Because Tanner's going to get the big lead, but now Caden's going to have the fresher tires. So with only 10 laps to go, this will be interesting. Caden has to pit right now. He has to pit right now, and sure enough, he's coming down, along with Kyler.
That's really going to be his only shot.
Along with Kyler Scott and Kylee Greider, JD stays out, probably hoping for a caution.
Yeah, and at this point, he can risk it. He can do whatever the hell he wants. This is going to be one interesting finish. It's probably going to end up depending on the tires here. I can't wait to see what happens.
With his
I'm thinking Tanner still got this, but really, I don't know. Straight up, I can't give you a definitive answer as to who's going to win this race.
JD is going to hit pit road, so that will finish the cycle, I believe, with the 5, as you see everyone behind him coming down, the 12, the 37, the 27. See what they do tire-wise. They don't have to put 4 tires on. And JD is going to do a 2-tire stop. So 2 tires for the 5 car.
We'll see how that cycles out for him.
I would imagine that the leaders all did 2-tire stops too, because there is no need for a 4-tire stop this late in the race.
No, at this point they can't risk it that much. 2 tires are going to be just fine for him. This is going to be one hell of a race to the finish. Colin Dover won the race off pit road there.
And as you see, Tanner is coming around. He's going to have the pretty monster lead. Caleb now to second.
It's going to be an absolutely massive lead.
And Caden to third now. Kylee to fourth. Does Colin Dover come out in front of or behind Kylee? Looks like he's going to come out ahead of Kylee. So with a great stop. Oh, never mind. She's going to get him here.
Yeah, right around the outside.
Carter stayed out for an extra. Carter and Jared stayed out for an extra lap. They were trying to make something happen, trying to get a caution to save their. Oh, KR, he's got a fuel on the bottom. But Carter and Jared.
Oh, Kyler Scott.
Carter and Jared tried to save their seasons, tried to do something deviant, and it just didn't work for them. They're going to have to come down pit road, and they're going to fall well outside the top 10.
Most likely here. Kyler Scott tried to pull a move on Caden Bishop. It just didn't work there. Not going to help as they're trying to catch up to the 0-0 in the 15. Now look at the playoff picture on the screen.
Deloney now +8, but that is nothing.
You look at Kylee and Carter, it's real close between those two. We remember at the start of the playoffs, they were the top 2 most dominant. Kylee and Carter were the first 2 to lock their way in, and they were looking like early favorites along with Deloney. But now they're battling. We got 3 of probably the best drivers through the playoffs battling for the last 2 spots as they're on board with the 15.
He's been closing in on Tanner. You see there, he gained on corner entry, driving it in deep. Let's see if he gains on corner exit. He about breaks even. So a net gain in turn 3 there for Caleb. Oh, he gained he gained a quarter of a second.
Oh my goodness!
He's gonna get to Tanner, but can he get around him? Is the question.
I don't know. Tanner might hold that preferred line. What a story would be if the driver of that 15 car was able to win this race, especially considering the absolutely abysmal luck that he has had in the 15 car, or not in the 15 car. I mean, he's had bad luck all season long. Besides the 2 wins, but in the Raising Cane's machine, whenever he's had Raising Cane's as the sponsor, especially through the round of 12, it did not go well. It never went well whatsoever. He flipped twice in that paint scheme, and he's just hoping to capitalize here today. All he wants, he said in interviews, he's just going to go out there, he's going to run his race, he's going to risk it all so he can just get that one final win before next season.
Battle for third. Oh my God. Caden and Scotty are side by side again. They've been side by side pretty much this whole race.
It's got to be some sort of record. It's been unbelievable how much of this race has been spent with just those 2 running side by side. That's just been the main thing all race long. And Oh, how about that 15? I mean, I think he's going to get to Tanner, but is he going to be kind to him?
You see that gap shrinking on quarter entry. Caleb, gap to him is now about 0.2 of a second. Quarter of a second.
This is going to be a race right here.
And meanwhile, Scotty and Caden are closing fast. They 2 laps ago they were a second back. Now they were 2 seconds back. Now they're less than a second.
Well, Zachary Serto isn't going to be in time. I mean, pretty soon we're going to be coming to the white flag. Now I think Marinelli's going to try to make a run here.
He's to the high side. Caleb trying to get that run. Here he comes. White flag to the inside goes Caleb. Side by side.
His third win. Can he do it?
Side by side in the one.
With Tanner.
Tanner needs the win.
He doesn't have the line.
Caleb wants it desperately. Down into turn 3. Tanner has him cleared. Here comes the 2 dodges. Not enough time.
It's not going to happen. Tanner Campos is going to the championship 4.
Tanner Campos moves on at Homestead.
How about Holmes and Ravid Motorsports?
Now
2 drivers are going to go contend for a title.
That was an excellent finish. Not quite the photo finish that we could have had, but it was a clean race between friendly rivals, and it ended with Tanner, the regular season champion, now a lock for the Final 4.
And he's going to join his teammate. Oh, look at this! Tanner Campos!
Tanner flexing.
Oh my god.
Tanner flexing that slide move.
At this point, he doesn't care. He's going to the championship. He's going to do all the burnouts he can. 3 wins now after being basically the big joke at Hosmed, not necessarily with driving style, but in the fact he just couldn't capture that win. He didn't in Indianapolis, but now he's on this roll, and he might just be the one raising that championship trophy when it's all said and done.
There's a reason he's doing burnouts in front of those trophies right now. He's making a statement. You see those trophies? They are mine. I want them.
That's a statement he made here today. And, between the 2 that have locked themselves in, I'd say he's probably the favorite. We just got to see the other 2 drivers that are going to make their way in next week.
It's really an open field with Auto Club, and it's huge that Tanner got this win, because harkening back to the 5th race of the year, the Auto Club 400, that was one of the craziest races we've ever seen here in the MLNCS. Literally anything could happen next week.
He's still doing burnouts now, trying to get his way to victory lane.
Tanner is just enjoying the moment. He knows exactly what this win means. Not just for him.
It means a lot to him.
Not just for him.
And a lot to Jared, a lot to Hosmed.
To all his friends, everyone that supports him week in and week out, making his case for best driver. Thank you to Rat Bastard. Here are your race results.
Yeah.